Welcome to our channels English with Hassane 1 and English with Hassane 2.
Hey everyone, welcome to English with Hassane 1 and 2. If you're looking to master English, you're in the right place. Whether you're starting from scratch or aiming to improve your skills, I'm here to make your journey fun, easy, and super effective.
Adam speaks to himself. He speaks to people. She speaks to you. Olga speaks to her teacher. Claire speaks about money. Tim speaks to his manager. Let's repeat after me. Adam speaks to himself. He speaks to people. She speaks to you. Olga speaks to her teacher. Claire speaks about money. Tim speaks to his manager. So we see the verb is with S because it's positive form. Let's see the negative form and let's see if we have S or not. Of course we don't have S because we are in the negative form. So Adam doesn't speak to himself. He doesn't speak to people. She doesn't speak to you. Olga doesn't speak to her teacher. Claire doesn't speak about money. Tim doesn't speak to his manager. Let's repeat after me. Adam doesn't speak to himself. He doesn't speak to people. She doesn't speak to you. Olga doesn't speak to her teacher. Claire doesn't speak about money. Tim doesn't speak to his manager. Let's go to the question form and let's see if we are going to see S with the verb or not. Of course not. We are not going to see the S with the verb because it's the question form. So in the negative form and question form, don't put S to the verb with he, she, it. So does Adam speak to himself? Does he speak to people? Does she speak to you? Does Olga speak to her teacher? Does Claire speak about money? Does Tim speak to his manager? Let's repeat after me. Does Adam speak to himself? Does he speak to people? Does she speak to you? Does Olga speak to her teacher? Does Claire speak about money? Does Tim speak to his manager? Let's go to see more examples. Positive form. He speaks a strange language. Sophia speaks to her husband. So there is an R missing, her, not he, her. So right R, the R is missing. So Sophia speaks to her husband. Nancy speaks English very well. She speaks German really well. Jim speaks 7 languages. Richard speaks Japanese quite well. Let's repeat after me. He speaks a strange language. Sophia speaks to her husband. Nancy speaks English very well. She speaks German really well. Jim speaks 7 languages. Richard speaks Japanese quite well. Let's go to the negative form. He doesn't speak a strange language. Sophia doesn't speak to her husband, so there is an R missing, her husband. Nancy doesn't speak English very well. She doesn't speak German really well. Jim doesn't speak 7 languages. Richard doesn't speak Japanese quite well. Let's go to the question form. Does he speak a strange language? Does Sophia speak to her husband? There is an R missing, it's a printing mistake. Does Nancy speak English very well? Does she speak German really well? Does Jim speak 7 languages? Does Richard speak Japanese quite well? See more examples. Daisy speaks to her dog. Saul speaks our language. Fran speaks very fast. Bob speaks Indian. Indian is the language of India. Helen speaks about her project. Stevens speaks better than them. George speaks Korean. Noor speaks about Christmas. So the word Christmas, T is silent. So we have CH, but we don't pronounce it ch, we pronounce it k, Christmas. So let's repeat after me. Daisy speaks to her dog. Saul speaks our language. Fran speaks very fast. Bob speaks Indian. Helen speaks about her project. Stevens speaks better than them. George speaks Korean. Noor speaks about Christmas. So let's see these examples in the negative form. Daisy doesn't speak to her dog. Saul doesn't speak our language. Fran doesn't speak very fast. Bob doesn't speak Indian. So Indian with capital letter because it's a language, it's a printing mistake. Helen doesn't speak about her project. Stevens doesn't speak better than them. George doesn't speak Korean. Noor doesn't speak about Christmas. Let's see the question form. Does Daisy speak to her dog? Does Saul speak our language? Does Fran speak very fast? Does Bob speak Indian? So now it's correct with capital letter. Does Helen speak about her project? Does Steven speak better than them? Does George speak Korean? Does Noor speak about Christmas? In conclusion, from all the examples we've studied so far, we notice that the verb speak in present simple changes only in the positive with he, she, it. He speaks, she speaks, it speaks. It doesn't change in the negative and question. He doesn't speak and does he speak. In the next lesson, we'll practice closed questions with does and short answers with the words he and she.
And with that, we've reached the end of today's lesson. If you liked the video, don't forget to hit the like button and share it with your friends. Share with us in the comments what you learned or if you have any questions. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel and activate the notification bell so you don't miss any new lessons. Together, we'll make learning English a fun and easy experience. I'll see you in the next video, God willing. Goodbye.